I'd say about 2/3 of our budget comes from commercial sponsors. We try to get the sponsors who are, we think, ecologically sound, who are not destroying the air, the land, and the water. And then the other 1/3 comes from our listeners in various forms. We have some subscriptions to our program guide, and then we have our infamous Be a DJ program, where people come in and buy time on the station for an hour or two and do what they want to. They can talk about anything they want to talk about. They can sing, they can dance. That's the way we finance it.
What other kinds of programming do you have?
Oh, mercy me. We do everything we can. We play music from India and music from China and music from Japan. We play old-timey jazz. We have an enormous collection of biograph recordings, obscure recordings. We do a lot of American folk music, American Indian music. We have festivals. We had a whole festival, 48 hours of music from India on the 24th and 25th of December last year, because we loathe the commercialization of Christmas so much. We wanted to do something different with it, and we did. You know, so much of radio in this country is so bad. 98% of it is run by terrible robber barons left over from the 19th century. And it's my view that radio should, in a way, go back to the people, where people can come in the door and be on the air, where they can have the freedom of the airtime that most commercial broadcasters are going to deny them. We've got to give them that freedom so that they can go on the air and be heard with their music and their ideas and their thoughts and their feelings. And it's very hard to fight the commercialism of radio, the over-commercialism, the need to make bucks. But I think we're doing it. I think at KTAO we're making time available to all sorts of community groups so they can be heard.
You have about 60 seconds to make the announcement that you want to make, so if you want to go ahead and just do it, go ahead.
Okay, there's a benefit Thursday, June 10th at Forbes Mill. It's located behind Old Town, over the footbridge in Los Gatos. It starts at 1:30 in the afternoon. Duck Brothers will be playing, a blues band, and many more.
Steamboat days, in the good old steamboat days, in the good old steamboat days, in the good old steamboat days. Steamboat whistles you would hear, boats they made about a mile a year, and they full ahead of steam. Well, they'd race down the stream, and the boat that didn't blow up one in the good old steamboat days, in the good old steamboat days. In the good old steamboat days, lifetimes would meet your gaze. St. Louis, she was one, you know, and New Orleans was far from slow, and dear old Memphis, too. Well, she was quite a few, but goodness, how they've grown since the good old steamboat days, since the good old steamboat days. In the good old steamboat days, when the river would not raise, the old Mississippi, she got so low, in the bottom of the river the dust would flow. Fish called pikes and cats, and they all were acrobats. They'd stand on their heads to wet their gills in the good old steamboat days.
This is Jack Nicholson for KTAO in Los Gatos, which is far ahead of its time.
Or far behind, possibly.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd with music by Eddie Dunstedter. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen in the Paramount Pictures production, Warpath. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. Beginning next Wednesday, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, will be heard 1/2 hour later on most of these same stations.
That was Ustad Naiz Ahmed Khan and Ustad Faiz Ahmed Khan singing Rag Yaman, which is an evening melody and is meant to have a mood of serene quietness. And this is KTAO, and this is Indi with Indian music on Tuesday afternoon from 2 to 5. And today I am going to play you a few duets in classical style. And to break it up, listening to KTAO often, you will have heard. This time it's Lakshmi Shankar and Nirmala Devi.
People want to go on the air badly enough, and we want to give them the chance to do it, that we encourage a volunteer type of operation in which people take shifts from 3 to 5 hours a day to go on and do the records and do the readings. We've actually turned over 25% of the ownership of the station to a volunteers association, because I want them to be involved in what this station's all about. I want them to think that it's partly theirs, that stuff that's going out on the air. Because in that, I think that's where the art of radio comes. I think the most exciting days of radio are right now. And that's because of the technological change, the fact that FM came on the scene and is now at last succeeding. In the Bay Area alone, you have 70 or 80 or 90 stations that can be heard on both AM and FM. And this is fantastically important because it means that instead of competing with each other on, just to do rock, stations have to branch out, do some other creative things. These are the golden days of radio right now.
The first murder was only a mistake. The apparent moral is that companies shouldn't hire salesmen. Women shouldn't marry them. Young blondes should stay away from them, but confidentially, some of my best friends are insurance salesmen. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.